Welcome back to another episode here at Full Throttle. Thank you very much for tuning in on today's episode. If you are brand new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button and head over to the Full Throttle YouTube page and check out all of the amazing content we have over there. Of course, after you watch today's episode. Today I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to replace the pads and rotors on the rear of your Mercedes. Specifically, we're working on an X204, so this is going to be the exact same process on any of the GLK lineup, and this is also going to be the exact same process on any of the W204 C-Class lineup. So the C300s, the C350s, it doesn't matter. So let's not waste any more time. I have the vehicle up in the air. We are using the quick jacks in today's episode. I will leave a link down in the description below for everything used, all the tools and parts, and where you can purchase them yourself down below. So be sure to check out those links after the video. Guys, you do not need quick jacks. You can lift one side at a time with a standard jack. And jack stands, I just always highly recommend follow safe lifting practices. Other than that, guys, once you have the vehicle in the air, we have to get this wheel off, and then we'll do the step-by-step process on how to get those brake pads and rotors replaced. So now that we have the wheel off, as you can see, we have full access to the entire brake caliper, the brake pads that are inside the caliper, and our front rotor. We have a few different tools we're going to need. First step, we're going to remove the caliper from the mounting bracket. You're going to have to disconnect your brake pad sensor. Just pull that straight out. You're going to pop off the two covers, and in behind those we have 7mm Allen. As you can see there, we have the pin released. I'm going to set that aside and remove the top one. And we have both of the caliper mounting bolts removed. So once you have both of the mounting screws removed, we do also have to remove this front spring on the caliper. You want to be cautious, you do not bend this up too much. But you're just going to try to pry out the little tabs that are in the front of the caliper. And once you have that released from the mounting bracket, we can then pry off the caliper, just like that. So you do want to be cautious. We do still have the speed or the brake pad wear sensor attached to the caliper. I recommend, if you can help it, do not remove that bolt. 9 times out of 10 it will snap if you're in any sort of salt climate. So we're going to leave that connected. Just be cautious of that cabling in the back. Remove the rear brake pad. You can just pull it out like that. And then we can also remove the front brake pad. As you can see there, heavy grooving. Now we're ready to remove the brake caliper mounting bracket. So to remove this, we have two 18mm bolts in the rear. There's one bolt there, the top mounting bolt. And then we'll loosen off the bottom one and set that aside. We are now ready to come in and remove the set screw on the main rotor assembly. This is a T27 Torx. This can be seized. I do recommend penetrating fluid. I did have this off recently when we replaced the reluctor ring. So if you want to see that episode, be sure to check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description below and up in the corner here as well. But T27, I do highly recommend. Make sure everything's cleaned out nice and well. Get a nice tight fit and then loosen that off. Like I said, this one I just had off probably about 2 weeks ago. The other side's going to be a different question. Remove that, set that aside, and now at this point we are able to remove the rotor. So again, where I just had this assembly removed, as you can see there, just a couple wiggles and it's coming off. It's a high probability you're going to have to use a hammer to tap that rotor off. It will be quite tight. Just be cautious. Also, guys, do not have your emergency brake engaged, as these are brake shoes on these vehicles and actually go inside the drum of the rotor. So you want to make sure they're fully disengaged. But otherwise, this is coming off very easy. And you can see how excessive rust just kills these brake rotors. Okay, now that we have all of the old parts off, I do highly recommend come in here with a wire brush and clean this all up. This is pretty good condition because, again, guys, I just had this apart. But I do highly recommend, before installing your new brake rotors, come in here with some Never Sees. This is not mandatory. But I just highly recommend, especially if you think you're going to be the one potentially removing this down the road. This is going to make it much easier to remove that brake rotor. So we're going to come in here, just add some Never Sees. This is just your metallic anti-seize compound. I'll leave a link down in the description below for this as well. We do have our brand new rotors. These are the Max rotors from Amazon. I've had very good luck over the years with this brand. We have the brand new carbon ceramic select brake pads from Max Advanced Brakes as well. We'll get these opened up. A lot of times you'll see new set screws included, so I just want to see if they may have them in the brake pads. Nothing else in the box there. So we do have new caliper springs. That's nice to see. And then we do have both sets of calipers and both sets of brake pads, and then the break-in procedure on the back. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But I don't see any new set screws, so we'll just reinstall our original. Doesn't hurt to also just add a touch of never sees to the set screw as well. And then we'll line that up and torque that to spec. Okay, once we have the set screw installed, we're now ready to install the mounting bracket. I do highly recommend come in here with a wire wheel, wire brush, anything like that. Clean up all of the location points where there is movement for the brake pads. So we're going to reinstall those 18mm bolts. At this point, we can take our new brake pads and install them into the mounting bracket and the caliper. You're also going to want to take the time to push back the brake piston as well in the caliper. I didn't actually catch that on film, but I was able to use my hand. Another trick is to buy the actual tool or use a C-clamp, a large enough C-clamp to compress the piston back in. There's a few different methods. Honestly, guys, most times you can also use a screwdriver with a piece of wood. Just anything to give you leverage to push that piston back in. But like I said, for this caliper specifically, I was able to just use my hand to get it back into place. Okay, so now that we have the piston pushed back in the caliper, we can install our new brake pads. So the rear one, as you can see here, has this mounting clip that just pushes straight into the piston itself, just like that. The front brake pad, we're going to add some never sees to the ears and just a little bit on the bracket itself. And you should see nice, easy movement between the two components. Nothing should be binding or tight. We'll add just a little bit of never sees to the ears of the rear brake pad as well. Now that we have that on there, we can install our caliper. Just like that. We're ready to install our slide pins. Now when you install the slide pins, we do not want to use never sees on these. We want to use lithium brake silicone grease. If you use never sees, it will bind up. You'll get a stuck caliper, you'll wear out your brand new brakes, and potentially get stranded on the side of the road, guys. So trust me, spend a little bit of extra money, put the right parts on. So once we have that lubed up, we can slide that into place. Just like that. I'll repeat the process on the second one. And now we'll take our 7mm Allen and install these into place. And before we torque those down, I do want to get the spring back installed. Another thing I want to mention is this brand did not include new brake pad wear sensors, so you will either have to purchase them separately or try to remove it from the brake pad. Now normally these can be removed. So as you see there, be very cautious. You should be able to remove that out of the stock brake pad, and then we'll slide that right into our new brake pad. Once that's in place, we can line up the electrical connector and push that in. And then just a slight tap on the face to make sure they're fully seated in. And basically you want these tabs locked under the mounting bracket on each top and bottom. At this point, we'll return to torquing up our 7mm sliders. Do not forget to reinstall your dust caps, top and bottom. At this point, we are completely done. We're ready to clean the rotor. Honestly, guys, this should have been done before we installed the rotor, just so you can get the back cleaned up as well. And that's how easy it is to replace the rear pads and rotors on your Mercedes-Benz, specifically the X204, any of the GLKs, or any of the C-classes, the W204 chassis. But to be completely honest, guys, it's pretty well the exact same process across the entire Mercedes-Benz lineup, excluding those AMG models. I will leave a link down in the description below for all of the parts and tools used in today's episode. But guys, honestly, very minimal tools required to get this done yourself at home and save yourself a ton of money. Whether you're in a garage or out in the driveway, you can get this done, guys. Very easy. I'd say probably an hour max for both sides. I'm not going to film the other side, guys. It's exactly the same process. I don't want to waste your time. But if you do have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys, and I'll reach out ASAP to help you in any way I can. Other than that, guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you aren't currently subscribed to the channel. And until next time, you guys know what to do. Keep Brad full throttle.